Hello and welcome to another fun-filled nonsense retrospective. I'm your host as always, Rick, and joining me equally as always is Devon.
Something chili dogs.
Chili dogs indeed. Yeah, today we're going to be talking about Sonic, but before we get into that, let's get into our time-honored tradition of the nonsense asinine hypotheticals. And do you have one for me today?
I do. Out of the two of us, Rick, you are most certainly the Sonic fan among us.
Mm-hmm.
This is undebatable. So, congratulations, you've been given the keys to Sonic. You get a one-time deal to make anything you want out of the Sonic IP. What is that thing? It can only be one thing, no series.
Ah, man. They've already done an RPG. I liked it. No one else did.
They did an RPG? What?
Oh, have you not done this? BioWare did a Sonic RPG on the DS.
Okay, I'm totally going to try and find that via completely legitimate means.
Yeah. It's difficult to find, so hit me up if you need help finding it at CEX or something like
that. Yes.
Yeah, CEX.
I think we covered our ass. Let's go.
Yeah, literally a BioWare RPG where you could romance Amy. It's fantastic.
But what about Sally?
There's no Sally. It's only game canon characters.
I was going to say, has Sally even ever been in a game?
Once.
Ooh, that's one time more than I thought.
And it was as something in a gacha in a pinball
Oh, that doesn't count.
Yeah, exactly. They were also planning to make a game with her, and that got cancelled. So, that's the thing. I probably would actually make that game a reality with modern sensibilities, a few more RPG mechanics, just the Sonic Saturday morning cartoon game, which was meant to be a little bit more stealthy, a little bit more story-driven, and had a few RPG mechanics, and just generally was a fun time for people that liked that version of Sonic, which I did. Not a lot of people think it's their favorite, but it was good enough for Archie to pick it up as their main mythos. So yeah, I'd do that. Make it 2D style, pixel art, and all that.
Yeah, fair enough. That sounds reasonable. I'd buy it.
Yeah. Sweet. But yeah, my one for you is, who would you want as a mentor if you had the opportunity, and why? It can be a historical figure, a fictional figure, whoever you like.
I feel like we've done this question before, and the answer's always either Gandalf or Ben Kenobi.
Yeah.
Like, those are the two go-to, especially for nerds, because like I'm pretty sure we had a question that was incredibly similar, and my answer at the time was specifically Gandalf the Grey, because you can learn a lot of shit from that motherfucker, plus he's chill, unlike the White.
Okay, well, under the assumption that this one's already been done, what is a conspiracy theory that you totally believe?
Not many. I don't know. The problem is the conspiracy theories that I believe are ones that have already been proven were correct, like, MK Ultra and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's very difficult. Like, people forget this, that conspiracy theory doesn't mean necessarily something batshit insane. Conspiracy just means more than one person was in on doing a thing.
Yeah, it's something that was a cover-up.
Somewhat. Conspiracy means more than one person did the thing. That's the problem. The problem with English is one word means many things.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it's not really a conspiracy theory, and I don't really believe in it. I really like the idea of there being a giant ape-like creature living in the American forests.
So Bigfoot and Sasquatch.
Yeah, or the skunk ape, etc. It's one of those things where, no, I don't believe there is. When I was a child, I was super fucking into it, and I watched all the videos of people with sightings and stuff, and in hindsight, they're all crap. But when you're young, you want to believe this shit, and I still kind of do want to believe it, because could you imagine what an ecological breakthrough that would be?
Yeah, absolutely.
But alas, like, it's what. Well, okay, here's something for people who are really big into conspiracies, and if you're really big into it, me saying this isn't going to mean much to you, but I'm going to say it all the same. The very first thing you need to ask yourself when dealing with a conspiracy theory is why? Who benefits from this being a thing? Like all the big ones, like flat Earth and shit. It's like first question is, who benefits from the Earth being flat? Nobody. What is the benefit of making this a global lie that everybody fucking is in on? That the Earth is actually flat. It's not round. It's like, yeah, but why? What would be the benefit of keeping that a secret? And the problem,
exactly.
And the problem with that one is then you get them being like, oh, extraterrestrials were actually a giant terrarium, literally like the fucking the wall from Solar Opposites.
Yeah.
Like, it's just baffling. Like, there's somewhere you can kind of understand it. Like the one of the conspiracy theories that a lot of people believe in is the 9/11 thing being an inside job and that. And it's like, okay, there's actually some things you can point to. This is the benefit of it. It gives an excuse for the wars in the Middle East, even though we all know that was actually about oil. But, you know.
Yeah, and it also, like, gives us the Wall Street crash, which, if you were shorting a lot of stocks, you could have made a lot of money on that.
Yeah, well. But, you know, there's conspiracy theories where, like, if you can't even answer that question before jumping to alien space, the grand master plan of the lizard people, it's like, you know, it's clearly not true. What is it? Is it Occam's razor, where it's like the most obvious explanation is the most likely?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the one.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, conspiracy theories are a weird thing. We could probably do a whole fucking podcast on that, so I'm going to put a pin in it here. Let's get to today's topic, I suppose. A good question, though.
Yeah. So today we're talking about Sonic the Hedgehog and all the permutations that I could think of off the top of my head. So the history starts with, there was an idea that when the creators were playing Mario and playing the first world, 1-1, the idea was if you get through that as quickly as possible, then the rest of the game is open to you, because you have to go through the first 2 worlds. And the idea was, yeah, after that you've got the warp points and you can go wherever you like, but before that you still got to do the same thing over and over again. So doing it as quickly as possible is optimal. So then they decided, why don't we make a game based on speed?
That's fair. Although it's kind of interesting, really, because Mario 1-1 is literally just keep going right.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like,
there's not a lot of room for optimization in go right and sometimes jump on a dude.
Yeah, I mean, speedrunning. Like, I'm sure if we point to a speedrunning video, it's like if you jump exactly at this point, you avoid this Goomba, which saves you 0.2 seconds, which sounds insane, but that's the type of thing you have to do if you're a speedrunner, and it's also kind of why I hate speedrunning.
Yeah. But yeah, it's basically like the birth of classic speedrunning was the reason for the inception of Sonic. He was originally called Mr. Needle Mouse.
Fuck off. Really? Oh, I love shit like this.
Yeah, because Japanese people didn't know what a hedgehog was, and they thought that a lot of people worldwide wouldn't know what a hedgehog was, so they busted him out as a hedgehog, also knowing that porcupines existed and that they were very similar, like, visually.
Yeah, but like porcupines are big and you know, well, they're fucking massive if you've ever seen one, dude. But
yeah, absolutely.
That being said, I'm laughing. Me and Rick are both British. Like, the hedgehog is incredibly natural. England countrysides are the epitome of natural habitat for hedgehogs. So the thought of someone not knowing what one is quite funny.
Yeah. So yeah, they're all over the place here. Now and again, we'll see a licorice streak on the back pavement where a hedgehog has been and had a shit. And I think Carl Pilkington once said, "Have you ever seen a live hedgehog? All I've ever seen are dead ones, because their number one defense mechanism is to curl up into a ball."
Just don't do much against a car.
No, don't do much against a car. So that's why Sonic rolls into a ball, because so do real hedgehogs.
Yeah, that being said, I have held a hedgehog, Rick.
Have you?
When I went to Japan, funny enough.
Okay.
The guy I was with had a thing with his girlfriend where they were both obsessed with otters for some reason. Don't know why, didn't go into it. I was like, fuck, there's an animal cafe, it says it has otters, do you want to go to it? And he was like, yes. I'm like, cool. We went there. Before you go see the otters, they put you in a room with a bunch of other people and a bunch of other things, and they just give you small animals to fuck around with, I guess. And they gave us a small wooden box, and we're like, what the fuck is this? And we opened it up, and there's a tiny little hedgehog in it. And then we get given really heavy-duty gloves, and it's like, what the fuck do they expect us to do with this? They didn't speak English. We were in Japan, funny enough.
Yep.
Or rather, they didn't speak English enough to have a conversation. Like, they knew yes and no and certain words, because, you know, English is like taught like French is over here. But yeah, so my buddy put on the gloves and just sort of held it in his hand, and I was like, this is fun. And it just curled up in a ball in his hand. It clearly did not, like, these animals
didn't want to be there.
Well, they're being handled constantly all fucking day. It can't be a very exciting or rather enjoyable existence. But yeah, it was like, cool. As a bit of a tangent, she then brought out a sugar glider and just put it on my buddy's shoulder, and it just kept trying to jump to its doom. It kept wanting to jump off, and it was jumping on things and climbing up. I was pissing myself laughing as my buddy was trying to catch it and stop it from trying to hurt itself. And the fucking Japanese woman was just watching us, and you could see in her eyes she really wanted to laugh, but there must have been some sort of professional conduct bullshit holding her back.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the story of a hedgehog. My apologies.
Mini tangent to that. I have 2 friends that have both of those animals.
Hedgehog and sugar glider.
Yeah, so Garrett had sugar gliders for a long time. He had one and Amber had one, and I think his ended up being an arsehole, but Amber's was a good one because she spent more time with it. And then he ended up inheriting both when she ended up going and doing like nursing full time.
I thought that story was going to have a bit of a more depressing ending, but yeah, fair enough.
No. They stuck around. They had a good life. And another friend that I have who I went to school with, and he now lives down south and manages a Boots. He had an albino African hedgehog, and it was cute. And he called it Tails, so his heart was in the right place.
Did he forget that Tails was the fox?
Maybe, but yeah. His heart was in the right place.
Yeah, fair dues. Like, Tails is hella cute. I would hug Tails.
Oh yeah, totally.
However, I live in a fairly urban environment, shall I say. There's plenty of urban foxes. Their piss stinks.
Yes, it does.
You know when a fox has been around because the place is awful smelling.
Yeah, and the bins are normally over as well.
Yeah, well, we don't talk about the bins.
Another part of the original concept was he was originally meant to have a girlfriend called Madonna, who was human, and he was in a band with a bunch of other furries, one of which looked almost exactly like Vector.
The crocodile.
So Vector the crocodile is the first one of Sonic's shitty friends to have ever been designed.
I cannot believe that. I remember Vector, like, that kind of makes sense. It tracks, because he's always got the headphones. He's more hip-hop than anything, but then during the special attack with Team Chaotix in Sonic Heroes, he's playing guitar really badly. So it tracks. Like, they kept elements of that.
Yeah, totally. So he's still got the headphones in his original design. He doesn't have the chain, and his I
think the chain may have been inspired by 90s rap.
Yeah.
So that hadn't happened yet.
No. Yeah, this was being designed like back end of 89, and I think the first game came out like 90 or 91.
Oh, don't expect me to know fuck all about dates, my friend.
Yeah, no worries. Early days, they actually produced two versions of every game. They made a Mega Drive game, which was the real one, and they made a shitty 8-bit one for people that didn't have a Mega Drive. So
what console would they have played that on then?
So that was on the Master System, and then they ported it to the Game Gear. Literally the same game, apart from the fact that the screen was cut in like 3/4.
Yeah, fair.
Which made some of the bosses impossible because you couldn't see what was happening, and then you got hit and killed in one hit.
Oh well, Game Gear was before my time, my friend.
Yeah, that was a pain in the arse, but yeah. So we have 2D games. We have Sonic 1, 2, 3, Knuckles, Advance, Sonic 4, the DS games, and Mania. These are all side-scrollers, of course. Again, these were mostly before your time, apart from Mania, which came out relatively recently on the global scale.
Well, here's the thing, right? I'm not a big fan of Sonic the games. I will say this, one of the most heartwarming stories and things that gives me hope for the game industry in general is the story behind Sonic Mania. Because it was a fan game to start with, essentially, or rather a fan team, and Sega just went, fuck it, we need to do a re-release of Sonic 1 to 3 again. Let's just hire these lads. And then the game just kind of got away from them, and it evolved into something more, and Sega went, fuck it, why not?
Yeah. The main guy behind that, Christian Whitehead, he started out as a ROM hacker, and he was the one that was hired for the iOS ports of 1 and 2, and I don't think they've done 3 because of Michael Jackson.
Oh, is this the story I've heard the story I've heard a lot, but never been able to confirm whether it's true or not, because I've never done the big deep dive, where Michael Jackson did a piece of music for it.
He did a lot of music for it. He loved the series, and he was apparently the one that requested to be hired for it. So
if the king of goddamn pop says, I want to do a thing for you, you're not going to say no.
Because he also had his own game as well. Michael Jackson Moonwalker on the Mega Drive. I think the idea of that is he'd go around the world saving children.
Oh dear.
Yeah, that doesn't age well, but...
I mean, again, it's one of those things. We talked about that incident on the podcast before, back when we were brand new and didn't know any better.
Yeah. After Sonic 1, they split the team. The Americans made Sonic 2, and the Japanese made Sonic CD. And you can kind of see the divergence here, where the CD game, it had literally a CD, so it could have CD quality sound, and that was pretty much the best thing about it, because, the music on that was fantastic. Whereas the core gameplay side was done by the American side for Sonic 2, where, you got your physics-based rolling around at the speed of sound. Mm-hmm. But the actual...
Very quick question. I do know that nowadays Sonic has their own pet band. What's the name of that band?
Oh, boy.
As far as I'm aware, they've done all the music since, like, the PS2 and before a little bit.
Right. Crush 40.
There we go. I knew they had a number in it.
Yeah. It was called that because the lead composer for Sonic, Jun Senoue, he was like, I'm in my 40s. I'm crushing it. Let's call it Crush 40. Go.
That's so fucking dumb, and it's kind of endearing.
Yeah. But yeah, the big one that was split, literally, was Sonic 3 and Sonic & Knuckles. They couldn't make it in time for the release date that they had planned, and rather than pushing it back, they had to be held to it because they had a merchandise deal with McDonald's, of all things. So McDonald's were doing Happy Meal toys, and the idea was, if there's no game, then it's not a very good cross-promotion. So they had to rush out half of the game to release.
Gonna go on a bit of a tangent right now, but one of the funniest things to me is they don't really do it. I don't think they do it anymore anyway. But back in the day, Burger King used to do a similar thing where they'd have had a kids meal with a toy and they'd compete with McDonald's Happy Meals. Obviously, McDonald's still does Happy Meals. Don't know about the Burger King thing. But one of the biggest losses McDonald's ever had to Burger King was they both got a Disney movie at the same time, and Burger King got the Lion King toys, but McDonald's was like, fuck you, that film's gonna flop. We've got the Pocahontas toys.
Oh boy.
And it's like, no one fucking wanted those.
Yeah, like, you can play with a lion. What are you gonna do with a fucking dude?
Like, the best you got is a raccoon, maybe a talking tree.
Yeah, you got Pocahontas and a white dude.
I don't even remember the raccoon's name.
No, me either. I don't know if it even had a name.
It did have a name. Pocahontas called it something.
Yeah, I mean, it's Disney. Everything has a name. It has to be marketable.
Yeah. But anyway, sorry, tangent aside.
But yeah, Sonic 3 is the one that had the Michael Jackson music in it. You can hear the original music if you buy a PC version of Sonic 3 and Knuckles that was that was like placeholder music before Michael Jackson got his hands on it, did his stuff, got it into the game.
Did his old
it's all very groovy.
Oh yeah. Like Sonic, it's one of those things where I hear Sonic music fairly frequently, just randomly, really, and it's all good.
Yeah, it's groovy as hell. I think that was also part of the idea. Like, even going back to the very first game, Mario has this kind of timeless music. Let's make our own music of the time, which then becomes timeless because it's actually well composed as well. But like making use of the Mega Drive's overdriven drum track.
That's a very nice way of saying how it had a very shit sound chip.
Well, it had a shitty sound chip, but it was good at doing drums. So the idea was, if they did a lot of drums, then it would kind of make things more groovy.
Sounds like you're making excuses for Sega.
Yeah. But yeah, the Mega Drive sound chip was like very, very different. So you can feed anything through that and it'll turn out different.
Just any excuse to not say shit.
Oh yeah, you feed anything through that, you get a different experience. Yeah. It might not be a better experience. It might be a much worse experience, but you know. So yeah, they split the game into two. The second half was Sonic and Knuckles, and that was one that had a big old additional cartridge port on top of it, so you could slot another game into it. The idea was to put Sonic 3 into it, but they also found they had just enough room on the cartridge to reproduce Sonic 2 on there. So if you put Sonic 2 in there, you could play through it as Knuckles.
I heard a rumour that you could do it for Sonic 1 as well.
Okay, if you put Sonic 1 in there, you get an infinite number of special stages.
Oh, okay then.
So the special stage from Sonic 3
was that the weird ball thing where you had the blue and red orbs?
Yeah, the planet with the blue and red orbs.
Right.
And they're basically procedurally generated by a seed. And yeah, just whatever stage you get to, you get the new seed for that stage. And it's some of them are hard, some of them are easy, but you know, it's just there to pass the time.
I mean, like, as a child and even as an adult at the time with your own disposable income, would you not think that I bought this new thing, if I plug my old things into it, I get even more new shit?
Yeah, so here's the thing. As a kid, I got Sonic and Knuckles before I got Sonic 3 because it had that extra functionality. You could play old games with the new thing as well. Turns out it was the wrong idea because Sonic 3 sold out in Britain completely, and like for another 2 years you couldn't fucking get a copy of it.
Trolling no power boot sales and getting bootleg editions.
Not even that. Like, you couldn't copy Mega Drive games back then.
Okay.
Like, it was incredibly difficult unless you were already a producer, already a publisher, to like write Mega Drive games. It just wasn't technology at the time for the layman. Well, nowadays you got a Super Magic Drive or whatever it is, where you can stick an SD card in it, have fun with it. But yeah,
an aside, like Sega and Nintendo are leaving money on the table by not having fucking just you know how they pull in the Virtual Store from the DS and shit.
Yeah,
it's just like, just fucking put it on the Switch. Like, the fact that people who don't get paid fuck all have made emulators for this shit that you can run on your PC means that you could just pay the person who did that and put it on your machine.
Man, the number of these that run on a PSP, which is vastly inferior in hardware to modern consoles, yeah, it's daft.
It's money on the table. If they sold that, and then it's Nintendo, so they'd be real pricks about it, so they'd charge you again full price for all the games. But if they weren't pricks and charged like a quarter or even a fifth of what the original game was, just because it's old and outdated, it's like, hey, guess what? You've just cut piracy rates by infinite.
Yeah.
People don't want to steal your shit, Nintendo, but when you're stingy pricks, that's what triggers people to do it.
Yeah, like Super Mario RPG is not available anywhere apart from basically the original SNES cartridge. So, yeah.
I think that one might also be like a 50-50 split with Square being dicks, because that's technically a Square game.
Yeah, it is.
So it's like, you got to bear in mind, if they can't get like, I'm sure Nintendo would be like, people want this game, Square, please, and Square's like, we want 90% of the money. Fuck you, you know?
Man, that brings me through to the idea, though, that the two biggest guys in, three biggest technically, but two of them became one, were Square, Enix, and BioWare. And Square did the Mario one, and BioWare did the Sonic one.
Fair do. I never actually heard of Enix as a company until they merged with Square.
Yeah, neither had I. Like, we're from the West, and we didn't get Dragon Quest until the Square Enix days, so...
Okay. I always assumed Dragon Quest was Square games, because, Square Enix logo is labelled on all of it.
Yeah, so Enix were the Dragon Quest guys.
That makes sense now.
Yeah, that's why they merged, because they were both, like, RPG titans in Japan.
Yeah. I mean, why not, innit?
And also, you know, Spirits Within forced a merge.
Yeah.
They lost so much fucking money on it.
We're not going to talk about that.
We're not talking about Spirits Within on a Sonic time.
I think it might have been on the Christmas podcast where we asked the question, worst Christmas present, and it's like, yeah, I wanted Final Fantasy Spirits Within.
Yeah. The worst part about that, it was a worse present that you wanted.
Yeah, I really wanted, because I was like, Final Fantasy has a movie. Oh, it's going to be the best thing ever. And then you watch it on Christmas goddamn day, and it's like, oh, what the fuck is this? What? I need to rewatch. Maybe that's a fucking idea for the channel.
Maybe just shitty movies. We can do it at Christmas time next time.
That might not be a bad idea. Like, sorry for doing a brainstorm mid podcast, guys, but hey man, let us know if that's worth doing, because it's been long enough that I can't remember the plot very well, but I remember it being shit.
Yeah, I'm generally aware that there's Aki Ross and there's some ghosts, and that's about it.
There's definitely guess what? Some spirits.
And they end up somewhere within.
Oh, Jesus Christ. On the bright side, we managed to wash that memory away, because like Christmas tradition in our house is, The Great Escape's on. Do you want to watch that? Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, it's better.
It is. Oh.
Yeah, so there was a Sonic 4, but it was shit. Nobody liked it. And... When it came to making Sonic Mania, there was an elevator, and in one of the animated segments, and the floors were 1, 2, 3, CD, K, and M. Basically saying CD, Knuckles, and Mania were the things that were actually canon, because 4 was shit.
I'll take your word for it, my dude.
Oh, it's garbage. Oh, it was such garbage.
Hey, if you want to vent, that's what the podcast is for.
Yeah, like, the physics was so bad. Like, you get used to Sonic doing the thing that you want him to do, but, like, if you stopped moving in the middle of a jump, he just dropped like a stone.
That sounds like first edition Spyro, because Spyro 1 did something similar where you press the triangle button and it cuts your fucking flight, you just drop, which is very weird, because in every other game it actually gives you a bit of a boost to land with, you know?
Yeah. It's like, it's okay if that was an actual ground pound, but it's not. This is just the middle of the jump and how they think it's meant to go.
Arme does not live here.
No. Like, in the old games, if you could just roll into a ball and just use that momentum to just get around when you're going down slopes.
I mean, I've seen gameplay of like Sonic 1 and Sonic... Well, actually, I don't think it was Sonic 1, but Sonic 2, where there's a fucking curve in the wall, and it's like, you can't just go up it, so you got to fucking charge your spin and then go boom.
Yeah. That's the thing that I really enjoyed when I very first played it, I've seen him do this in the cartoon. How do you do this? Oh, you can do down and B. Go. It was so satisfying when I was 8.
I remember I annoyed you one time, and I don't remember if you remember this, Rick, but I certainly remember it, when one of the Sonic collection games was free on PS Plus or something, so I downloaded it, and I'm like, I've never played Sonic. Knuckles is my favourite character, let's start with that. And I messaged you after about an hour saying, man, I don't like how Knuckles controls, and your exact words were, there's 2 buttons, figure it out. And I'm like, okay. I I just didn't like how it felt.
I think it's actually only one button as well. Like, you've got jump, and if you jump in midair, you glide, and if you get into a wall, you stick to it.
I just remember you being very annoyed with me for saying I didn't like how it controlled, and I was like, I guess I've learned not to talk about Sonic to Rick.
I really don't remember that, but yeah, it does sound like something I might have said.
I was trying to bond. I knew you liked Sonic, and I was like, oh, I like Knuckles. It's a shame he plays like ass. And then you were like, oh, blah, 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 blah.
But yeah, they got the advanced games, which they were kind of a tie-in to the adventure 3D games. And then they had the DS games, one of which was pirate-themed, which I thought was pretty cool. You got to go between islands, and there's a character who looks almost exactly like Styx the Badger, who is your, like, new shitty friend for this game, and it's Marine the Raccoon, and she's really cute, and then she never shows up again.
Yeah, cool. I bet you there's still like 1 million pieces of fucking erotic fan art of them.
Oh, there will be, and the worst thing is she's 6. Oh, no.
I mean, if you want to get technical, all of the characters are super not legal.
Yeah, like, I think Tails is like 8.
I think the closest to legal is Rouge, and even she's not even 16.
I think she's 17, but yeah.
Oh, well, that's still illegal in the States.
Yeah, it's between legal in the UK as well. It's legal personally, but not legal to broadcast.
I mean, I literally just said it's illegal in the States, specifically because technically it's legal in the UK.
Yep.
So it's a fucking drawing. Who gives a shit?
I know, right?
Like, she's drawn erotically. Like, they had an intent when they made that character design. I don't care what anyone says.
Yep. We touched on Mania a bit and the history behind that, how the guys were ROM hackers and they made it a real thing, and it released the same time as Sonic Forces, more or less.
I absolutely love this because they pushed Forces so goddamn hard. They were like, oh, Mania's going to be an indie darling for like a few fans, and then it's like, no, get fucked, Forces, Mania's the shit.
Yeah. I bought both because I'm a Sonic simp. And again, Mania was way better because it was an absolute return to form for Sonic in general, and in specific, the way that we remember it, because the fans that made it tried to get it one-to-one with the way that it used to be. Forces wasn't that good, although you could make your own furry OC in it. So,
but that's the thing, right? It's the appeal was making your own furry OC. Now, here's the thing. I've technically played both games because both have been free on PlayStation at various points. In fact, there's an episode on my gaming channel, which I no longer upload to, but it's still the content's still there, of me playing Forces for a little bit because, hey, it's free, I'll make a video, fuck it, who gives a shit. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I get told that one of the biggest drawbacks is it's like, oh, we need to save Sonic. You get to Sonic, and Sonic could have just left at any time, he just didn't want to.
Yeah. Apparently he's been there for 6 months, and when he just decides that it's time for his stage, he's like, fuck it, I'm bored now, leaving.
It's like, that's just lazy.
Yeah, and in the script, apparently Robotnik was torturing him non-stop for 6 months.
He didn't look very tortured.
No, he didn't. Like, apparently that was a mistranslation.
Oh,
cool. Yeah. Mistranslation that makes the entire script go way harder than normal.
Well, it's one of those where I've actually seen a comic strip of, I can't remember the exact context, but like one of Robotnik's robot minions comes charging in and going, hey, I've killed Sonic. And it's like, what? How did you kill Sonic? It's like, yeah, I used this gun. And Robotnik flips his shit. He fucking berates this robot non-stop, and the robot's like, what? I did what you wanted. And it's like, no. Anyone could kill him like that. I need to prove that I am better than Sonic, which is why he does all of his stupid fucking plans. He knows that they're not ideal, they're not optimistic, but he needs to prove that Sonic is inferior. And it's such a... Like, alright, granted, Sonic getting shot with a gun is fucking stupid, but, it's a good way of demonstrating that actually the reason Robotnik's robots all fucking suck is because his intent isn't to just curb stomp Sonic, it's to embarrass him, put him in his place.
Yeah, it's like the Loki problem. The way that Loki always fails is because he makes his plans too elaborate. To a degree, anyway.
Depends what Loki you're talking about.
Well, Marvel Loki in specific, because there's more stories about him than the Norse mythology at this point.
Yeah, but the Norse mythology ones make more sense.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, the Marvel ones always get thwarted by some superpowered arsehole.
Yeah, because the problem is Loki's used to fucking with Thor.
Yeah.
And Thor's an idiot.
Yeah. He's a flying brick at the best of times.
I love Thor, but he's an imbecile. By the way, speaking of, I really hope we get the introduction of Hercules in the new Thor film, because it looks like that we might.
Oh yeah, we might indeed.
Well, we've got Zeus, so why would we not see Hercules turn up?
Yeah, we've got 3D games as well. They're exploration, 3D platforming with a bit of speed and a few hidden secrets. And this is where Sonic's shitty friends really started cropping up more and more. We've got Adventure 1 and 2. We got Heroes, which I believe is where you came in.
Yeah, it's one of my notes is here's the 2 games I can contribute to. The first one is Sonic Heroes.
Yeah, Heroes is actually the first time we see Team Chaotix again since... Actually, yeah, they did have a 2D game in Knuckles Chaotix, which nobody played because it was on a Sega 32X, which was a mushroom that you stuck on top of your Mega Drive.
I do remember back in the day when Sonic Heroes came out because while I wasn't part of the Sonic community, I used to sort of browse GameFAQs back in the day.
Yeah.
And there was a heated debate over the placement of Knuckles in the team comps, in that they were like, Knuckles should not have been in Team Sonic, he should have been in Team, Chaotix. And then it was just like, okay, but then who goes in Team Sonic because no other power character makes sense?
Technically, Mighty the Armadillo kind of makes sense.
But he also makes sense in Chaotix.
Yeah, he totally makes sense in Chaotix.
It's the thing is they're interchangeable, really, and then what do you do with Vector?
Yeah. Like, if you don't have Vector there, then you don't have Vector anywhere. And it's better that Vector is here, because you then got him showing up in Shadow going, "Find the computer room!"
That being said, though, one of the things looking back, I absolutely adore about Sonic Heroes is you've got the 3 main stories of Team Dark, Team Sonic, Team Rose. And they're all more or less the same story, and they're all sort of saving the world in a roundabout way. And then you got Team Chaotix, which at the end of the day is a story about 3 weird motherfuckers trying to make rent money.
Yep. And they've been hired to spring some guy from jail. Turns out to be Dr. Robotnik. Vector figured this out like in stage 2.
So Espio had suspicions, and even Charmy was like, "Hey, that's weird," you know. Yeah. I fucking hate Charmy, by the way.
Yeah, and Charmy's 6.
Charmy is kind of adorable, but he's kind of also insufferable.
Yeah, he's adorable in short bursts, and yeah, just like a real 6-year-old. Like most people have their limits.
Yeah. It's like, here you go. Here's my second controller. You're playing as that guy.
Yeah. Sometimes when it comes to a 6-year-old, all you can really say is shut up and eat your damn French fries. Like,
I'll be honest with you. It's been a while since I've hung out with anyone under the age of 10.
Yeah, sure.
and again, it was when nephews and nieces visited, and the parents wanted to talk to my parents. So it's like, cool. I guess you're playing the PlayStation with me.
Yep.
Which, depending on how old they weren't actually doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's literally like, I don't want to stop playing my single-player game. Is there anything I can feasibly say is being controlled by you? No? Fuck.
Sonic Adventure 2, I think, is the only actual time, other than the RPG, where you can play as Robotnik as well. So,
what about the Mean Bean Machine thing?
Technically, you don't play as him. You're in his factory.
Okay, fair enough then. Yeah, fair.
Yeah, and the whole Team Dark on that, it was Robotnik, Rouge, and Shadow. Shadow dies at the end.
Yeah, of course he does.
And then he shows up again in Heroes, and like one of the subplots of Heroes is this the real Shadow? And even he has doubts.
I mean, it's very confusing, because there's a cutscene where you open up a fucking warehouse, which is kind of chilly as fuck, because you got the fucking smoke effect, and there are walls and walls of Shadow clones.
Yep, and Omega says, I'm going to tell you how cloning works. The original one has to be there somewhere.
Like that, it's one of those real fucked up conundrums that I think children are exposed to thanks to Sonic. Of like, what would you do, Rick, if you bumped in, or rather, you're just chilling at home one day, someone knocks on your door, you open a door, and there's a 1-to-1 replica of you, and they say, "I'm the real Rick, and you're a clone. You've been living my life for the last 5 years." What do you do? It's a tough one, right?
Here's the thing, I'd probably work with them. Like, there's obviously some kind of conspiracy. I don't think I'm being controlled, and yeah, I'd work with them. And if I end up getting murdered, then that's, well, you know,
that's
par for the course.
Does that not? but does not the concept of you've been cloned and your existence entirely really is being questioned, or should be being questioned internally? Would that not just fuck you for the rest of your life?
Oh yeah, totally. But yeah, the thing of what I would do is, yeah, I'd work with my other self to try and uncover the roots of the mystery, and then eventually we probably would just go our separate ways. Well, I don't know which one would keep the life. It might be me. It might be my other self.
But that's the problem. Would you be okay with just saying, "Oh, I guess I'll tap out and live in the fucking woods"? Like, what do you do?
I mean, if it's a movie, then something will show up during the course of the movie script that means that there is a stepping off point of, yeah, we've uncovered uncovered this other thing that I can go and do because I've just found out that I'm good at it.
But what if like during your adventures, the person who says he's the real you gets a cut and he just bleeds weird milk juice like the fucking androids from Alien?
Then I would point at that and go, okay, I see this happening to you. So obviously that's not something that happens to normal people. I probably cut myself and go, oh, okay.
But you cut yourself and it's also milk fluid now.
And I'd say, okay, neither of us are the original, therefore we're both expendable.
Oh, no, you do not. No one ever goes, oh, I guess I'm expendable now.
Yeah, we're intended to be expendable. Let's prove that we're not.
Okay, so now you're thrown in a room with a gorilla. How many more of you do you think you need? I'm taking the piss. Don't worry about it. If a certain someone listens to this, if a certain someone listens to this, they'll get it.
Yeah, more than 20, definitely.
All that to say is, being told that you might be a clone is gonna fuck with you. And also, Shadow's not the most mentally stable person anyway.
Speaking of, Shadow the Hedgehog is the next game.
Yes, this is the other game I can contribute to.
Yeah. So the American studio kept getting letters from American kids saying Sonic should use a gun, and their way out of that was go, oh, okay, let's use Sonic Jolter because he's the one that would actually use a gun, and make a game about him and have Sonic show up in the first stage saying, yeah, I don't care about guns, but you might. Just like passing by a guy with a gun who you just killed and taken his gun off him.
Like, you could definitely see the American influence in this game because all the advertisements had Shadow riding in a lowrider and carrying a Glock.
Yeah, and my favourite stage of that is if you go evil the whole way, the final stage is like an American army base. And
I assume it's probably gun.
Yeah, it's the gun army base, and you ride around the parking lot in a Hummer with a Gatling gun out the window.
Hang on, is that why they named that organisation Gun? Because they were pissed off at the fans demanding Sonic uses a gun?
Maybe. Yeah, so Sonic versus guns.
In theory, Sonic should be faster than a bullet.
Yeah, like, as per his character, design of being faster than the speed of sound, yeah, he should be faster than most bullets. But, yeah, I think it's actually easier for him to dodge rather than outrun it, so...
Also, weirdly enough, I think Shadow was the first game I ever played, not from Sonic, obviously that was Sonic Heroes because it predates it, but the first game I ever played that had so many branching paths.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know games could have that much options.
Yeah, there are 5 final stages, and you get to them by doing a combination of good, evil, and neutral paths earlier on in the game.
But fuck that, there's 15 final bosses. Technically.
I think there's like 6, but yeah.
But you know what I mean, though? You got 5 endings, 5 ending stages, but each of those ending stages has 3 boss options.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a bit daft. There's an actual way to get... If you get all the endings by doing like light and dark on each ending one, then you get the final story. But there are so many more permutations that no one in their right mind is going to go through.
No, God, no.
Like, do you go good, then evil to get right down to the bottom? Do you go neutral, then evil to get down to the bottom?
I do remember when I first played the game. In fact, you might be able to see this again on my channel because I did a good playthrough for Shadow the Hedgehog. I did the good route for the first level. Unfortunately, the first good branch point, the ending condition to be good is you have to be really fast through the stage.
Yeah.
So if you fuck up even once, it's like, oh, nah. So you got to go neutral. And then it took me... for a second, I was like, oh, fuck, am I going to be able to get good now?
Yeah. Like, it's very forgiving early on, but later you basically have to go perfect. And yeah, after Shadow is Sonic 06, which is infamous for being shit.
Is it more infamous than Unleashed?
Yes.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Like, I'm not even kidding. It's the one that's... If people didn't see Shadow as the first of the bad, then Sonic 06 was definitely the first of the bad.
Because here's the thing, Shadow was undoubtedly not a good game, but it was different.
Yeah. I think even the Grumps said, this game is very ambitious and tries to do so many things, and then they had a comedic pause, and accomplishes none of them.
Yeah, I will never say Shadow's a good game, but it was, as a child, it was entertaining as fuck, and looking back at it, it's like, it does try things, and it is kind of fun that, alright, granted, the evil option's always going to be discount Dr. Claw, but, the good and neutral option, or well, rather the good options, always have a fun character that you usually don't get to interact with in Sonic games.
Yeah. Like, there's a bunch of cyberspace missions where you just have chaotix in cyberspace and you're trying to hack something.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
No, but it's fun.
Yeah. Well, that said, if you go the evil route, the very first character you meet is Rouge, and she's working for the good guys trying to anti-hack the hacker.
Yeah, and it's basically goading you into siding with Rouge and getting back onto neutral.
Yeah, because who doesn't want to fuck that bat?
She's also the friend in the final mission on Darkseid, if you choose to go good right at the end.
To be fair, that's good going, because Rouge has always been like... she's not evil, but she's definitely on the evil scale if you go by D&D logic, in that she is selfish. But she's like... I wouldn't even say she's normal, maybe neutral evil, in that she doesn't just do things to be malicious.
Well, she might even be chaotic neutral. Like, she's very definitely not the law. She's very definitely not a...
psychopath.
A heroic person. She's not a psychopath, she's not heroic.
Do you remember in fucking Sonic X when she had that fucking lesbian romance with the cop?
Oh, yeah. They also edited her cleavage out of Sonic X.
Yeah, that's weird.
In the Western version. They decided, okay, boobies are too much. We're going to leave the shape, but we're just going to take the line out of the middle that suggests that she has two of them.
But here's the thing as well, actually, thinking about it, she might be a bat, but she's Catwoman.
Yeah,
that's all she
literally.
is.
All the world's jewels shall be mine, is her tagline, I believe.
And she's pretty good at getting Chaos Emeralds.
Yeah. But yeah, Sonic 06 has 3 stories. It's got the Sonic story, it's got the Shadow story, and it's got the Silver the Hedgehog story, who's literally Trunks.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So Silver the Hedgehog is canonically, or not canonically, but everyone seems to have put down that he is the ancestor of Sonic and some human psychic woman that he decided to fuck.
Yeah, like, apparently the canon is he is the ancestor of either Sonic or Shadow. They don't expand on which one, and if it's...
Not ancestor, descendant.
Descendant of that. And if it's Shadow, then he is literally Trunks.
Yeah.
Because Shadow is literally Vegeta. He even gets the Super Vegeta hairstyle when he goes Supersonic.
Oh man, the trope name is the Virgil, but because Shadow was invented before DMC even fucking came out, Virgil is actually just Dante's shadow.
Yeah.
And both of them are moot points because Vegeta.
Yeah. Yeah, Virgil Vegeta. Vegeta.
You're fired.
Yep. But yeah, after Sonic 06, which the best thing it ever did was make itself not canon by the ending, making it never have happened. We really start the boost formula of 3D games, where they do some like 2D, 3D mashups. Unleashed was the first one of these, and that's the one where Sonic becomes a werewolf for some reason.
Yeah, and I believe they call him a werehog, which makes no fucking sense because he's already a hedgehog.
Yep, and he has elastic arms. I don't know why.
But because, again, I think the game got very negative reviews. By all accounts, I've only seen footage of it. It doesn't look very fun. But you got to give credit where credit's due. They did try something new. Yeah.
People that have played it more than I have, because I think it's the first Sonic game that I own and haven't completed.
Okay.
Because I just couldn't bear to get through it because it was shit. Actually, no, I have Sonic 06 as well. I didn't finish that either. They kind of dropped the ball on it. They made the regulars running stages okay. They made the Werehog stages okay, and apparently the Werehog music is good, but you never hear it because it's always fucking battle music, which is the same battle music for the entire game.
Yeah, that's not a good decision.
No. Then they have Sonic Colors, which is meant to be good, but I didn't buy it because I've been burned twice in a row.
Makes sense, man. Makes sense.
And it was one that was actually recently re-released on, I think, the Switch. Got it?
Oh, isn't that the one that had the god-awful port that everyone said it broke everything?
Oh, yeah. So the one that I'm saying was actually pretty good and got a port. Yeah, the port was shit.
I remember people being actually upset.
Yeah.
Like, the damn thing barely run. That being said, I don't know if we've gone past them in the timeline, but there are some other Sonic games I played that came out on the PS2 era, which were not mainline Sonic games, and I don't think are even canon, but they did introduce characters that are basically canon, so fuck it. Sonic Riders.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
The fucking weird skateboard stuff that wasn't actually skateboard, because some people just used fucking shoes.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically the core concept was there was a team of 3 racers. There was a pink bird that everyone looted because it was a woman, the green bird, and another bird who I forget, but who gives a shit. He wasn't the boss, and he was just kind of there. He was big because they needed a Knuckles analog.
Yep.
But yeah, those games were both shit but fun.
Yeah, so the thing back in the day was, in that period was that it started with Shadow. That Sonic, Shadow, Silver, and the bird Jet the Hawk, they were all voiced by the same guy, and it was basically doing the same voice but with different inflections.
I'm not even going to be mad because that's a studio fucking up.
Like, at least with Shadow, he did the Shadow thing and was really evil.
But it also makes sense because Shadow's meant to, even in the beginning, was technically a clone of Sonic, right?
Nah, because he's like 50 years old.
Alright, then Sonic was a clone of Shadow. Either way, they're related. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're both the same race, and they both have speed. And they both have chaos control for some reason. Shadow had it built into him, whereas Sonic just has been spending enough time around Chaos Emeralds that he's like monkey see, monkey do, like Goku.
It bugs me how many analogs you can draw to Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. Yeah, fucking even End of Sonic 06, they get all the Chaos Emeralds and wish Sonic back to life, because that's a thing that's been established to be able to be done.
What? The Chaos Emeralds are Dragon Balls now?
Yeah, like they like even do the thing where they all like orbit around him, and then after they've been used, they just fuck off. So just like Dragon Balls.
Yeah, okay. Weird.
But yeah, we then get to Generations, which is the first of the new good ones, and potentially the only new good one if you don't count. Well, in terms of 3D ones, it's basically the good 3D one since the original ones. It's got throwback stages to everything that came before, from 2D and 3D era.
If you're a game, or rather a new entry in a game series with the storied history that Sonic has had, you've got to have some nostalgia in there, man.
Yeah, and they rode the nostalgia really hard because the second playable character was classic Sonic.
Okay.
Yeah, so you could do the 3D version or the 2D version of a stage, and I think you had to do both, but it's possible you only had to do one of them to progress. And yeah, it was all about classic. New Robotnik has gone back into the past to find classic Robotnik and team up to kill Sonic, but that also opens up the way for classic Sonic and classic Tails to come through. Classic Sonic is mute, but classic Tails has the same voice as normal Tails.
Yeah.
So that was fun. And then the sequel to that, obviously, is Forces, where classic Sonic reappears again for some reason.
Yeah. Was that classic Sonic? I thought that was meant to be Mania Sonic.
I think they're now meant to be one and the same.
Okay, fair enough. I'm not the Sonic guy, people, so when I say shit that's clearly wrong, you're not going to hurt my feelings if you point out that it's clearly wrong, because I don't know shit.
Yeah, it's meant to be the same guy, and the new shitty friend is a guy called Infinite, who I think is a jackal, and he's got one eye, and he's like, you ever thought Shadow was an edgelord? Yeah, this guy is the new edgelord.
Damn.
He doesn't even have a face turn. It's great.
Oh, fair enough, man. I don't know if I've gone on record as saying this, but I'm getting sick of every villain ever having a fucking last-minute face turn before they die.
Yeah, like this guy doesn't even have a face turn. He just fucks off.
Fair enough. I'm gonna go to space.
Yeah. I think he gets I think they call it the Phantom Ruby or something. It's basically a Chaos Emerald that's not a Chaos Emerald, but it can warp reality. He just gets it taken off him and he loses all his powers because he relied on it.
Dumb.
But yeah, it is dumb. The stages were like 2 minutes long at the most.
Well, at least it wasn't bothersome.
Yeah, it was actually, in the early days of the Nintendo Switch, I think it was one of the better games to have on it, just to be on a train, do a couple of stages on your way to work, and then just pop it in your pocket, and then you were done.
Yeah, but I'm protective of anything I own that costs more than £100, so my Switch never leaves the house.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, that may have been a situation unique to me, that I'd have 20 minutes each way on the train, and time to fuck around. And it was a lot easier to do that with a short Sonic stage than doing anything in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, although that being said, just turn your phone on and do like 2 stages of Deefafu.
This was before Deefafu, my dude. Like a long time before Deefafu.
Well, you said you had a Switch, so...
Well, yeah, fair enough.
Like, if it was on the Switch, like, Deefafu's been around since the Switch has been out, I'm just saying.
Trying to think, but yeah. And that's it for games. As for shows, we've seen all the ones that there are available right now.
We're eagerly awaiting Sonic. Oh, piss, I didn't write down the name, but are we even still getting that with the cancellation of Netflix's animation department?
I think because it's in production, yes, we're still getting it. The one we might not be getting is the Knuckles one.
I didn't know Knuckles was having one.
Yeah, apparently the movie was meant to be a springboard for the Knuckles solo series.
Yeah, but that might not be Netflix. That might be Amazon or something.
Yeah, we'll find out. It's one of those. It was meant to be being made. We don't know by who. We don't know what's licensing it. I think it was meant to be Netflix, but we don't know.
Netflix would make sense because they've got the rights to all the other fucking Sonic shit.
Yeah. Apart from some of the old animation, I think Amazon has got the old animation.
Yeah, but who cares about those? They are not good shows.
Like, objectively, no. Like, there's Adventures, which is the cartoony one, like the actual cartoony one with slapstick. The Saturday Morning one, which was the one with story. Underground, which was the French one. X, which is the anime one. Boom, which is the new one, which is actually reasonably funny.
Like, you didn't know this at the time, but like I watched all of Sonic Boom way before we ever thought of doing it on the podcast, because one of the benefits of being under fucking 15 minutes long is I can just binge that shit and not care.
Yeah. I've not watched all of it, but I have watched some of it, and yeah, like, generally, they have some legitimately funny gags in there.
Yeah, because the fucking guys at Sega had no hand in it. They went, listen, Sonic Boom's been a flop, we don't care, just don't be rude, don't be racist, don't be horrible, make a Sonic cartoon. And writers went, okie dokie.
That does actually remind me that there was a Sonic Boom game, and it was potentially even worse than Sonic 06.
It might not have been bad because of story, but it was bad because the game was broken on release and they never fixed it.
Yeah, so they were told they were going to get a Xbox One or PS4 game, so they made that, and then they were told, okay, it's now being ported, it now has to be Wii U, because we signed a deal with Nintendo that we have to get to do 5 games in a row for them.
Yeah, that's a bad deal, because the Wii U was not a good bit of kit.
No, so they had to force a Crisis Engine game into the Wii U, and they did the best they could, but even that, with limited time, is never going to go well.
It's one of those where even fucking game publishers don't seem to realise how fucking long and hard it is to fucking make a video game. And I say publishers, not developers, because, hey, the publisher's only job is to, sell the fucking thing.
Yeah, so it was one of those. You can look at the pre-release material of when they had it running on something that they wanted to run it on, and it looks way better. And Styx, who is a massive part of the show, shows up once in the Sonic Boom game as just a random NPC who might as well just be any other NPC.
Weird.
It's proper crap. She would have been a really good playable character, but now she's not.
I don't know if she'd have been a great playable character or a very good playable character, but, you know, she was responsible for 9/10 of the humour in the show.
Yeah. Unannihilatable.
It's like, yeah. In fact, I think we titled the episode after that gag.
Yeah, almost unobliteratable.
Yeah, fucked it up like 5 times, and she just looks deadpan serious at Robotnik. You can't kill me.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, one of the main motivating factors for me for watching Sonic Boom is there was an Imgur dump of a bunch of screenshots from the show with really funny fucking subtitles to it, and what the top comment was, are these real lines from the show? Only to get a response of yes. And like, yeah, that's great. Like the gag of Amy Rose cooking in the kitchen and some fucking prick from the censors going, you can't show a woman cooking in the kitchen because that reinforces stereotypical gender roles. And then Amy's like, okay, while I agree with what you're saying, I'm the only one who knows how to cook, and I actually enjoy cooking, so that's why I'm doing it. Fuck you.
Yep.
Like, they're great gags.
And they also had Knuckles' feminist tirade as well.
Yeah. And everyone looks at him real stupidly, and he goes, what? Just because I'm dumb doesn't mean I'm not a feminist, or something like that.
Yeah. I'm all for it. It's great.
Yeah.
The other shows were the dumb anime movie, which we also did a review on.
That was a waste of our time.
Yeah, like, it was so weird because it was meant to be originally 2 episodes, and they just mashed it together and released it as a movie in the West.
It wasn't good. It made no sense.
Yeah, like the first half of it was basically a teaser episode for the fact we're going to get Metal Sonic in the second one.
It was cool seeing Metal Sonic, and it was so bizarre that Knuckles turned up with a hat, you know?
Yeah, Knuckles in a hat was a weird one.
I remember, because this was back in the day when we still did flags, and it was like, what do you want on your flag, Rick? And I can't remember what you had, but I'm like, I'm having Knuckles in a hat because it's so weird.
Yeah, I think I had Metal Sonic because he was basically the movie.
Yeah. Like, they really treated him like a Terminator in that.
Yeah.
Even down to his death scene.
Yeah. Like, that's the only time he actually got a line as well. He goes, there is only one Sonic, nick.
Yeah.
And then he melted.
Yeah. Film was dumb. Go watch that review.
Yeah. And yeah, if anyone interested in our thoughts on any of these series, we have reviews on all of them, and we'll have another one on the Netflix show when it comes later this year as well.
I don't think it's coming out this year. Like, it says on Sonic that it's due out 2022, but no.
We've got half of it left. We can be surprised.
We could be.
It can come out on the 31st of December and still be accurate.
That was my fucking viewpoint on Digimon Survive, and I was disappointed. That comes out at the end of the month, or the end of next month, so I'm excited.
Yeah, and the last thing I've got to talk about is the comics. We had a British comic, which was weird as hell, and it turned Amy into a punk.
I'm sorry,
which,
what?
You know, it's fine. Yeah, Amy, it was during the height of girl power, so when the Spice Girls were new, they decided to have Amy abandon chasing after Sonic because it was a one-point gag and it got old, so she got a leather jacket and a crossbow instead, and then ended up going on a lesbian romance with a canary called Techno, and they had their own little mini-series in the comic going on adventures. It was like the Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy of Sonic.
Yeah, I hate everything you just said.
Yeah.
Like, they handled the Amy and Sonic stuff pretty decent in Sonic Boom.
Yeah, like, she's always pining, but she knows it's never going to happen, but she's always pining.
Well, it's not even that. Like, there is no pining. They're both friends, and, like, you think they could push the envelope into, like, romance, but they just never do.
Yeah,
like,
fair enough.
It was always weird in the day that Amy's sole existence was to chase after Sonic. That sucked, I'll admit that. But turning her into a lesbian and giving her a crossbow instead of... Like, I'm actually more annoyed about the crossbow thing, because her hammer is iconic.
So this was before she got a combat role. So before she got the hammer, they decided... So her only appearance at that point was in Sonic CD, where she just runs up, hugs Sonic, makes him stop, and then you just have to wiggle to be able to break free.
Right.
And if you do break free and stand on a rock where she can't get to you, then Metal Sonic comes and kidnaps her.
And then you get, oh, okay, I don't like Amy, but I can't let her die.
Yeah, exactly. That's basically the motivation. Like, this person is annoying, however, annoying does not equal death.
That being said, how many fan artists do you think drew some real fucked up shit because Metal Sonic kidnapped Amy one time?
Yeah. I even saw something the other day of some fan animation of Tails laying into Sonic for being a prick to Amy. And one of the things that he's done in the past week is just not cared when she went on a date with Metal Sonic because he wasn't paying attention to her.
Metal Sonic has no emotions.
Yeah, I know, right? I think it's even implied as much in that one little animation, and that she's doing it to get back at him, but it's just not working because he's not paying any attention at all.
Like, that shit makes sense when you put it in the context of Sonic and Amy being literal children. However, the characters have been around for 20 odd years, more than that actually. But I think they celebrated the 30th anniversary not too long ago.
30 was a while. Well, 30 was a couple of years ago as well. Yeah, so we're
was it a couple of years ago?
We're close to 30th anniversary of Sonic 2. But yeah, so yeah, that happened. They expanded all of the little bunnies that you free by blowing up the capsule at the end of the stages in the regular Sonic game into actual characters. Like, there's a pig called Porker Lewis who ends up wearing a leather jacket. There's a rabbit called Johnny Lightfoot who ends up wearing a leather jacket. The only one that doesn't is Sonic.
Sonic's 30th anniversary was last year.
Okay. Yeah. 2021. Yeah, fair enough. That sounds about right.
Well, you saying that was a couple of years ago. I'm just saying that's...
Yeah, I thought it was a couple of years ago because I thought it came out in 1990, but obviously it was 1991, so...
Something. Rick doesn't know as much as he thinks.
Well, there's knowledge and there's surface knowledge. Like...
Oh, shade!
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so offended. The guy who has openly admitted he knows fuck all about Sonic got told he only has surface level knowledge. Oh no!
No, I'm referring to me. Like, there's a lot of things that I just have surface knowledge about, and people think I'm knowledgeable, but I'm really fucking not.
You're a fan of Sonic. You should know more than not at all.
Yeah, all I know the exact release date of Sonic 2 because it was a cheat.
I thought the cheat in Sonic 2 was the creator's birthday.
That's one of them. One of them is the creator's birthday. The other one is the release date.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, the birthday was 1965-9/17, and the release date is 1992-1124.
Oh, well, let's fucking check this out. Let's see if he's remembered it, folks.
I mean, they were cheats. I was a kid. I needed the cheats to be good. And
1 second. I'm just getting game facts up.
Yeah, so Yuji Naka's birthday for the level select, that was 1965-0917.
Hang on 1 second. Enter at sound test. What was the number?
1965-0917.
Yeah, well done. The other one is...
Enter within the level select, 1992.
Yeah, go on.
1124.
Yeah, well done, Rick. You remembered.
I remember some shitty cheat from 30 years ago.
Yeah, but... Okay, but who doesn't remember up, up, down, down, left, right, A, B, start? Fuck, was it
me,
BA?
Because,
Fuck.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, me, because I can't remember whether it's BA or AB, and I can't remember whether it's left or right first.
It's up, down, up, down, down, left, right.
Okay, the Konami code.
Yeah. Also, start. Fun fact: start isn't actually part of the code. It's just you have to press start to unpause the game. So everyone always puts start on the cheat code.
Yep.
That's not really a fun fact. It's just a thing I know. I like video games.
Yeah. Man, can we just remember how games used to have cheats? It was great.
It was great, but it was also very bad because I can point to the turning point in my life where I stopped using cheats because I found out it actually made the game less fun. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Oh yeah, we could spawn a tank.
You could spawn. Well, I don't know. Yeah, you could spawn a lot of random crap, but I used to always use it for the weapons, for the armor, and the health.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: there's a certain point in the game where you had to learn how to fly to keep progressing the game, but I couldn't do it. I wasn't very good at controls on the game because if I'm in a pinch, just put the cheat code in.
Okay.
But the hard stopping point was learn to fly, motherfucker. There's no cheats for this. And it's like, I actually feel a sense of accomplishment when I do this legitimately. So I rebooted Grand Theft Auto San Andreas and started again from scratch with no cheats.
Sweet.
Also, I played that game when I should not have.
I think everyone did. I remember playing Grand Theft Auto 1 and 2 when I was also under 18.
Those are fine because there's no swears or sex references. It's just mildly violent, and even by today's standards, it's not that violent.
I mean, there are. If you go to a phone booth, you get a sound clip from someone who swears at you. You can run over prostitutes. You can shoot them. I don't think you can let them into your car. I don't think they had anyone get into your car at that point.
But how do you know they're prostitutes?
Because they make lewd noises.
I think it's merely implied, not exactly. In Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, it's fucking explicit.
Yeah, you know, like the Dark Souls thing where you go to a place and it tells you where you are? Mm-hmm. Well, when you did that in these, it says Red Light District.
Okay, but as a child, would you have known what that meant?
I was old enough as a child to know that, yeah. I found that out from, Total Recall or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sonic.
Yeah, the American comic was completely different. It was based around the Saturday morning show Mythos, so that's the one that had Princess Sally and all that.
That's why we've got epic drawings of Sally's MILF mother.
Yeah. And her dad, who was voiced by Tim Curry.
Weird.
It is weird, isn't it?
But then again, that cartoon, was it that cartoon or the other one that was out at the same time, which had the evil Winnie the Pooh voicing Eggman?
Yeah, that's the one. That had the evil Winnie the Pooh Eggman from Jim Cummings.
Yeah.
And they killed that Robotnik off after 50 issues and then went on for another 100 or so.
Okay.
Yeah. Apparently, the Robotnik that we get later on in that comic run is one from the robot dimension, where he's already turned everything into robots, and he wants more. So he comes to the living dimension, and they already know all of his tricks, so they keep thwarting him. So it's actually a reasonable power balance then, because the old Robotnik just wanted to kill everything, but the new one wants to turn everything into robots, so he needs it alive to do so.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Some of these things are weird. This is the one where they really doubled down on Sonic's shitty friends. They keep adding in OCs, like there's Mina the Mongoose, who was meant to be another love interest for Sonic.
Why? You have Sally.
Yeah, he's got Sally, he's got Amy. Amy at one point gets aged up, so it's not as creepy, but it's still creepy, because she doesn't get aged up by enough. She gets aged up from 10 to 13, and Sonic's meant to be 16.
It's just, whenever you realise characters' ages, everything gets weird in any form of media.
Yeah. They have Robot Family, so he's got Uncle Chuck, who's always a robot in the cartoons. They've got his mum and dad. His dad was the first one to get turned into a robot because he had some degenerative illness and needed to be turned into a robot to live. And then the mum is also there because everybody got turned into a robot at that point. And we also get told that his middle name is Ogilvy.
No, it's not.
I know, it's fucking stupid. So it's one of those where I'm pretty sure it got stated to be non-canon.
None of the comics are canon.
Oh, definitely. But the idea is it's the only one that gives him a middle name. Apparently his his full name is Maurice Ogilvy Hedgehog, and Sonic is a nickname.
Bullshit.
I know, right? It's crap. But yeah, I stuck with that for a little while, like actually a pretty long while, because the UK comic ended, and this was the only Sonic comic that I could get my hands on, and it was one of those, I couldn't afford a lot of Warhammer back in the day when I was a kid, but I could afford a couple of quid every month just to go into town and pick up a comic from the specialist import comic store. Yes, I could have gotten a better comic, but I stuck with what I knew, and yeah, I eventually gave up when a couple of comic stores closed down and I couldn't get another contract.
Yeah, it's one of those sad realities of after the 90s, that pretty much spelled the doom of the comic book industry, or rather the comic book stores, shall we say, especially the mum and pop ones. Like I can only think of 2 comic book stores, and they're both massive ones, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So the ones that stayed open were ones that did other things as well.
Yeah.
I think they generally transitioned into like manga and Games Workshop stuff, and like for Forbidden Planet, they did a lot of nerd toys as well.
Well, most of them transitions to video game stores, and they lasted for about another 10 years, and then they went away.
Yeah. As soon as it became more convenient to have a digital version of something, the physical copy stores were no longer needed.
Which is to give a little bit of credit to Japan's policy of you have to make physical releases cheaper than digital.
Yeah. Or at least make the digital release the same price as the physical RRP, so anyone who undercuts it does it of their own volition.
Yeah, that really fucks with me, though. It really bugs me that you pay more for something that doesn't have any physicalness to it.
Yeah, you pay more to not own something.
Essentially, like, you do own it, but if PlayStation go under and no one buys it up, that's it. That content's gone.
Yeah. In fact, that's basically already the case for a lot of their platforms. Like the PSP went under. Like that's no longer available. The Vita and the PS3 are going away very soon. They were going to go away in the past, but people complained, so they kept it open for a bit longer.
Here's the argument to be made for emulation sites. Like, a lot of people, like, we even touched upon it earlier on in the episode, but a lot of people instantly slam emulators and emulations in that, oh, you're trying to steal this, you're trying to steal that, and it's actually like, no, like, there is an element of the community that is like that, of course. It's like, oh, where can I get brand new PS5 games for free? That's what they're after. That's not what I'm talking about. Systems like the NES, the PlayStation Portable, PlayStation Vita, anything that is no longer in production, some of the only reason people have access to the content to either relive their childhood or just see what games were like in the past or have any record of it even existing is thanks to emulation vaults, basically.
Yeah, because otherwise these things just become lost media.
Yeah. Or, the more annoying thing where billionaires who are also nerds are like, I have the only physical one, look at me, stroke my dick.
Yep.
You cannot play this game unless you know me.
And even then, you'll have to bribe me to open the sealed copy.
No, sealed copies are even more egregious. Okay, I know some friends who are like this, and sometimes it's for a valid reason, but I can't stand people who buy things just to have them.
That said, I have a sealed VHS of Jurassic Park 1.
Why?
I know. I really wanted it, and then when I got it, I was like, cool. And then it was on telly, like, a week later. I'm like, oh, well, I'll watch it on telly, and then I don't need to open my video, and then I'll keep this, not realizing that VHS was on its way out, because it was all I'd ever known.
Idiot. But I mean,
I was 9. What do you want from me?
But why do you still have it?
Well, because I'm not throwing it away, have I?
Oh, whatever. But I'm more talking about like collectible things, like
Oh yeah.
Like people who
like a boxed figure.
Yeah, like people buy a box figure and it's like it's going to stay in its box and it's going to look nice and look, it's in my cabinet. And I'm like, sure, I understand that. Like with posable figures, I would totally go that route. Not because I want to keep it in pristine condition, but because I fucking hate posing those things, because 9 times out of 10 they don't stay upright, because I live next to a fucking train station and my house is constantly rocking.
Yeah. Plus, posable figures tend not to be able to stand up very well on their own, and even if they do, then their arms just lose interest and just fall to their sides over time.
The only posable figures I've managed to get to stay upright, which I'm so pleased for because I've taken them all out of their boxes at this point and posed them, is the FF9 Play Arts figures.
Yeah, those are good ones though, aren't they?
They are very good quality. I love them. I've got all of their spare bits in a little plastic doggy bag. So If I ever want to fucking change the way they look or repose them or give them a different one of their weapons, I've got it all just sealed. And also, it doesn't take up twice as much, 300 fucking meters of space because those boxes are bulky.
Yeah, they are. I think the only things that I've still got in boxes are I've got a Metal Sonic figure that's still in its box, and it turns out it's worth like 300 quid now.
I was going to say, that's probably worth a mint.
Yeah, it's worth about 300 quid now. So I keep looking out on eBay and seeing them not selling. So people are putting them up for 300 quid and they're not selling, so it's not actually worth that.
Right.
So yeah, I'll keep a finger on the pulse of that. And the other one is I've got a couple of amiibos from the very first run when it was only Smash Brothers.
And when people were like, amiibos, they won't get popular.
Yeah. So I've got like Zero Suit Samus, Zelda.
If you sell those, they will end up in a cum jar.
Oh boy.
You know they will.
Yeah, 10 to 1, yeah.
I'm not happy that is what will happen, but you know it will happen if you sell those.
Yep. Oh no. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all we have to say about Sonic and things surrounding it for now.
That's what you think.
Oh,
there is some stuff I want
to
to touch upon. Oh, yes. The Sonic fans.
Oh, yes. The fans and the fan fiction. I could have said something about this, but I refrained from it a little bit because the fan fiction, we chose to end our segment on fan fiction rather early on because we thought it was poking fun at people that, yes, they put their stuff out on the internet, but we felt it could be a bit mean-spirited.
Exactly. The intent wasn't mean. However, every time I listen to it back, I'm like, that's really funny, but it does sound like we're being cunts for no reason.
Yeah, so we stopped it. The other thing is, I met a few of my lifelong friends on a Sonic the Hedgehog message board.
Isn't Sonic the Hedgehog technically how, in a very roundabout way, we managed to get introduced?
Yeah, like friend of friend of friend. Exactly.
Like, I met Rick when playing Destiny 1, but
yes.
But that was because I was playing with another friend of mine who met Rick via Sonic shenanigans.
He met me by a Soul Calibur in a lobby with the brother of a guy that I met on the Sonic message board.
Weird.
Yep.
That is to say, that isn't even what I want to talk about. I want to talk about fan games.
Ah, yes.
3 very specific fan games. First and foremost, Sonic the Fighters.
Yeah, okay, so there's 2 of those. One of those is an official one.
Okay, I'm talking about the unofficial fan one.
Yeah.
Where the cast is mostly OCs.
Yeah.
It looks fun. So much fun, in fact, that I'm pretty sure it's responsible for giving a kick up the arse to the developers for fighting herds, because they saw how fun it was, and they're like, yeah, let's just do that.
Yeah. I also like how, well, I don't like, but I understand how they've had to change from being the fighting is magic to them's fighting herds. Like,
because Hasbro don't want to play ball.
Yeah, Hasbro don't want to have their actual marketable characters kicking the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I understand.
Something, friendship with benefits. But yeah, it was fun. It was also very fun as well because they had secret characters, including both Ren and Stimpy.
Okay.
Which, it's always fun to give nods to other weird furry shit. Speaking of Speaking of weird furry shit, is what I was trying to say. Sonic Dreams Collection. Have you heard of this?
Yes.
I've never played this game because I'm not that big of a Sonic fan. However, I did watch a playthrough of it, and yeah, I think this game is the encapsulation of what most people see the Sonic fandom as, and that is weird, freaky perverts.
Yes. The ones that spring to mind in that is the one where you can pose the camera around.
Yes.
And one of them is basically a giant Rouge the Bat.
You're inside of giant Rouge the Bat.
You're inside of giant Rouge the Bat. Yeah, that's
and
that's
you pop out of her like an egg.
Yep.
But if you explore the wrong cavern, you find a giant Big the Cat wedged inside, slowly being digested.
Oh no, Sonic Vor.
Yeah, horrifying.
No.
Horrifying indeed. But the other thing you want to mention is Sonic force feed... No, wait, is it Sonic? No, you force feeding Sonic.
Oh yeah, there's that one. You tickle his feet, and then if you look...
No, that's a different one.
Okay.
No, this one is you force feeding. Like, Sonic is just sat at a table, and it says, feed me more. You pull a thing, and more cake comes in, and you just keep feeding it, and his belly keeps getting bigger and bigger. Yeah.
But yeah, the Sonic inflation subs category. Yeah.
The thing you're talking about is even more fucked up. But go ahead.
Yeah, you're on it's basically date night with Sonic. You just sit at home watching like a telly, and you end up taking his shoes off and tickling his human feet.
By the by, Eggman is your wingman.
Eggman is your wingman. He's out in a different apartment block, and you can look out the window and see him perving on you. And if you look back at Sonic at one point, both of his eyes meet in the middle, and they become a black hole.
Yeah, and you get a text from Eggman, and the text says, "You've gone too far," and then the phone goes into the black hole.
Yeah.
And It's like,
yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah, it's bad.
There's also a Super Eggman Online, and if you click it, it says the Dreamcast modem is not connected.
Okay. But yes, fun, goofy Sonic the Fighters fan game aside, weird, pervy, fetish Sonic Dreams collection game aside, the one that actually needs to be spoken about is Sonic Robo Blast 2.
Yes. Have you seen Sonic Robo Blast 1?
No, but I'm aware it was another fan game.
Okay, it's the same guy, and it's garbage. It looks like it's been hand-drawn and not in the good way.
Yeah, but that's the fun part, because that's the way Sonic Robo Blast 2 starts.
Yeah, so Sonic Robo Blast 2 is a hack of Doom.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's really good. Like, you've got the platforming. It's a bit 8-bit in the same way that Minecraft looks 8-bit.
When was the last time you played this game, or looked at things from this game?
Last time I saw things from it were about a year ago.
Okay, because I would have said it was better quality than 8-bit.
Oh, yeah. Like now it is, but it's the same kind of idea, that it's in the same kind of vein of retro-looking graphics.
Yeah, but you also have a toggle now.
Okay.
To switch to 3D models.
Oh, okay.
They're very basic 3D models, but it matches the game perfectly.
Fair enough. Yeah, because you got some really basic 3D models in like the Saturn games, like Sonic R and the Canon Sonic Fighters, which was crap. But yeah, you got these like low poly 3D models. They even use them in Sonic Mania for 3D special stages.
Well, there you go. So here's the question for you, Rick, because you might be able to answer this, seeing as you're aware of the game's existence. When do you think the game started being developed?
Really early, I guess, like 2007.
Do you want another guess, or do you want me to just tell you?
You can just tell me.
1998.
Oh boy, I did not know
this
that.
game has been in development for 24 fucking years, and it shows.
Yeah.
Like, they've got the fact that they've got 3 different ways you can play. You can play as Sonic and Tails, or Knuckles now.
Yeah.
It's just a very good display of how dedicated Sonic fans are.
Yeah. One that I will also remember, I don't know if it was in the Sonic Dreams collection, but Sonic Ball.
Oh, it wasn't in the Dreams collection, no.
Okay, it might have been a solo thing then. But it's a bunch of poorly drawn balls with things like the Sonic face.
Oh,
and it's actually a really competent racer.
I'm sure, but like, I hate meme games.
Yeah. One of the options instead of a ball, like you got Big the Cat one, is a bigger one than all the other ones, so it's got more, it gets more momentum. And the other one is a crocodile that just rolls around and it has the crocodile physics.
Okay. I don't know what you mean by crocodile physics.
Well, it's got, instead of having ball physics, it's got the physics of something that shape.
Oh, so it's not a ball at all?
It's not a ball at all. It's the only one that's not a ball. I think its name is Crocodile the Vector.
Oh, yeah, that's really funny. But yeah, does that do it for fan games?
I think that does, yeah.
I just felt like they needed a mention, man, because, you know, fan works in general are either easy or not to pump out, but I feel like games... I don't feel like anyone appreciates how hard it is to make a game.
Like, it's easy to make a very rudimentary, I jump on platform, yay, but it's very difficult to make something that's more cromulent than that, you know? Actually have a level that you can go through that's well designed, and, you know, an entire game's worth of things that are well designed. Like, even down to just one mechanic that's done well, and ideally a second mechanic that you can interact with it. Like in Sonic, that's obviously running and jumping, which you'd think is really simple, but back in the day, having physics-based running and jumping was actually kind of new.
Yeah, but you're saying that, but even with the basic like 2D platformer jump on thing is not as easy as people make it sound, because it's like, cool, we've done 5 levels, they're great, they're fun, we've got like 3 different enemies, it's awesome. Next set of levels, we'll introduce a new enemy. Oh fuck, I've broken everything.
Yep.
Like, it's not as easy as people think, and bugs and mistakes occur all the time. Like, I'll give AAA studios all the shit in the world for releasing buggy as fuck games. That doesn't mean I don't understand that it's hard.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
But the people who have the least excuse is AAA studios, because they have the time and the money.
Yeah, they've got the time, they've got the budget, and, you know, they are meant to be producing something good. They've got the brand recognition that should give them even more money. And yeah, sometimes garbage appears.
Like, one of my favourite stories is there was a Ghostbusters game. Forget what year, forget what console even. But it was a Ghostbusters game that had the classic crew. It wasn't related to the new movies at all.
Okay.
And it was like, they gave it to the, what was it called? The testers to test for bugs. Quality assurance, I assume, is probably what you'd call that. And they were going through and they were logging bugs and going, okay, there's this, there's this, there's that, there's this. And they got a note back from the developers of, oh, no, they're not bugs, that's ghosts. And it's like, okay, listen, if that's what you want to say, that's fine, but why am I going through these games and logging all these bugs if you're just going to say that, you know? Like, we don't, like, you're paying us for our time. And, like, contrary to what most people might believe, game testing is not easy.
It's not easy. Like, you can't just go and play a game and have fun with it. You literally have to try and break it just so that you can tell the people who made it, this is how I broke it. Maybe you want to fix this before it goes to shelves.
Like, one of my favourite stories is how, I can't even remember what game it was, but it was a PS1 demo disc game where if you had the memory card inserted into the console while you played the demo, it wiped your memory card.
Oh boy.
And the reason why this bug wasn't picked up is because it's a demo disc game. Why would you test it with a memory card plugged in? You can't save the game, so you don't need to test if save correctly. So they just didn't do that, which means this bug ended up on this demo disc and loads of people lost a ton of save data.
Oh boy.
I was going to say, if that happened to me, I'd cry. I can confirm I would cry because all my PS4 data got wiped that one time and I had a mental breakdown.
Apart from your platinum character on Dark Souls 2 for some reason.
I don't know why. That was the only save that saved to the cloud.
Yeah.
Because I didn't turn it off.
No.
And yet it was off for everything after Dark Souls 2, so I don't know what the fuck happened. Ugh.
Yeah,
but yeah,
neither do I.
I lost all my PS4 save data and I had a mental breakdown. And I know that sounds silly, but I play a lot of video games. It's my main hobby.
Yeah. This was when you had to replace the PS4 as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, the whole PS4 just died.
Yeah, just gone. Like, unusable anymore.
Yeah. Don't know what happened. But anyway, sad story aside, should probably wrap up, eh?
Yeah, let's get into our final three. So, from what you know about the Sonic universe, do you have a favourite moment?
The birth of many a fetish. That's all I'm going to say. What about you?
Mine is probably the showdown with giant Robotnik robots. The first one being in Sonic 2, and I felt a real sense of accomplishment when I did it without cheats for the first time.
I feel you. I still remember Egg Emperor from Sonic Heroes being impressive to me.
Yeah. And that's not even the first time he's done something like that. One of his go-to is a big robot that looks like him.
To be fair, like, Eggman is the height of hubris.
Yeah. And he's got a big old robot that's a circle, and he's got arms and legs. And it's got his own paint job. And they even brought that back for the movie, didn't they? Yeah.
Spoilers.
Yeah. So, do you have a weakest link?
The birth of many a fetish. Like, as much as it
swings both ways.
I don't think I'd ever know what Vor was if Sonic didn't exist, and that's cursed knowledge.
Yes, it is. Because you've got the one end of the thing of, I like this furry Catwoman lady, and you've got the other end of this spectrum, which is, this man is inflating himself with chili dogs.
So yeah, what's your weakest link, Rick?
My weakest link is the Sonic cycle of, it started when the game started to be a bit shit, of, new game gets announced, new game looks good, and then it gets released and it's shit. The next one will be good, though. It's just like this never-ending cycle of faith and disappointment.
I think this is a really sad one, to be honest, because not only does Sega not know what Sonic fans want, even Sonic fans don't know what they want.
Yeah, to a degree, but we also knew that we wanted Mania.
Yeah, because it was made by a Sonic fan. I'm not saying that as in, like, Sonic fans are always going to be ungrateful. Sonic fans are always going to be, looking for some reason to poke a hole in the new thing. I'm saying that because there are so many different types of old school Sonic games, from the 3D Sonic Adventures to, Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic and Tails and whatnot. It means there are fans who got hooked on a different gimmick. Yeah. That's not to mention the niche fans who like the weird things like the fucking one where Sonic was a knight.
Yeah. I forgot about those.
I think that was on the regular fucking Nintendo Wii where you had to use the motion controls. And the only reason I know this exists is because I've seen the Game Grumps play it and Aaron got really mad.
Yeah, he did.
And
unavoidable chin move.
But I don't blame him, because the game wasn't... No one could have tested that.
No. He had there was a Secret Rings one, which is all about Arabian Nights, and then they did the Black Knight one, which was all about King Arthur. I think they stopped at the Black Knight because it was so shit that people really got a lot of vitriol back at it. Yeah, it was not good. But we were meant to go through more storybooks.
But if that was people's first Sonic game, they might have enjoyed it. You just don't know. And if they want more of that, they're never going to get more of that, because those games were not good compared to normal Sonic games. By the way, I also don't think we talked about Lost World?
No, we didn't. No.
That one was okay, wasn't it?
Not really. It was trying to aim at being Super Mario Galaxy.
Oh, okay, fair enough. That's never a good idea.
No, they tried to make Super Mario Galaxy so every world was a tube.
Yeah, I do remember that. I vaguely recall some people enjoying it, but come to think of it, you saying that might have just been lapsed Mario fans.
Yeah. But yeah. And the last one is, do you have an MVP?
The fans. Like, I know I just shit on them for not knowing what they want, but like, it's one of the long-lasting series where you can actually point to, here is a fan of the games doing passion projects, and the company who, makes the actual games sees that and goes, yeah, come work for us.
Yeah. Like, it shows a lot of, at least some humility on the developer's part, that they can see that a fan knows what the fans want, and hiring them.
I mean, what did I say back when Mandalorian first fucking aired, Rick?
Oh, yeah.
Filoni loves...
Give this man the keys.
Not Filoni, sorry. Filoni and Favreau love Star Wars, and they want to see Star Wars prosper, and they want to see it flourish, and they know what fans want to see. So let people who are a fan of the thing do the thing.
Yeah, we're not saying everything they touch turned to gold, but most of what they touched belongs in a jeweler's shop.
That's one way of wording it, sure. But yeah, gushing about the fans aside, Rick, do you have an MVP?
My MVP is going to be Jun Senoue. He's the composer for the modern games and, the leader of the Crush 40 band. The modern games are the ones where I think the music really ramped up, because that's the kind of shit you can put on an iPod, and it will blend in with most things as generic butt rock, but also for people that have the memories, it gives you nostalgia as well.
Yeah, I remember the Shadow of the Hedgehog theme. It was a banger.
Yeah, it's still on my phone.
I'm really torn about the Shadow of the Hedgehog theme because it's awful, and yet it is iconic.
Yeah.
Was it 2 steps forward, 1 step back, or some shit?
Yeah.
The lyrics make no sense.
I am all of me, apparently. Yeah, black-hearted evil, brave-hearted hero.
Black writing on the wall.
Yep. Unleash a million faces, then one by one they fall.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's just one of them.
Like, this is early 2000s we're talking here, and we still remember the maybe not necessarily the exact lyrics, but we remember the beat. We remember the...
But yeah, I think that's going to be it from both of us. So, if you liked the video or the podcast, then get in touch with us. We got our comment section down below on YouTube, and if you're listening to us by an audio platform, we have the email, which is
nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com. Once again, that is nonsensereviewuk@gmail.com.
So, it's going to be goodbye from me, absent of a more interesting and funny quote to say.
Yeah, bye.